Broadcasting live from the basement of the Pentagon. This is WTF Nation Radio.
Everything stated on WTF Nation Radio is to be considered the opinion of the person that stated it, and not an official representation of WTF Nation Radio or U.S. Army WTF Moments.
Price does not include tax, title, or license. Some assembly required. Each item sold separately. Batteries not included. Objects in mirror are closer than they appear. If conditions persist, contact a physician. Individual results may vary. Keep out of the reach of children. Avoid prolonged exposure to direct sunlight. Keep in a cool, dark place. And
Please enjoy the show. Shots.
WTF Nation Radio. WTF Nation Radio.
Hi, Lieutenant. How are you doing? Aw, did you find your land nav point, Lieutenant? Good job, Lieutenant. You get a
Expert Action Badge.
put on your uniform right,
Expert Action Badge.
show up to work on time,
Expert Action Badge.
qualify on your weapon,
Expert Action Badge. Badge of Action.
find your guidon.
Expert Action Badge.
That's right, just doing your normal warrior task and drills, you get a
Expert Action Badge.
each item sold separately. Batteries not included. Objects in mirror are closer than they appear. If conditions persist, contact a physician. Individual results may vary. Keep out of the reach of children. Avoid prolonged exposure to direct sunlight. Keep in a cool, dark place. And
Please enjoy the show. Shots.
Shit in a bag, Pogue. Badge of Action.
The voice of U.S. Army WTF Moments. This is WTF Nation Radio.
Action Badge.
L'chaim, motherfuckers! It's KJ, happy Hanukkah, broadcasting live outside the Functional Veteran Center of Excellence. It's Jose's Taco Truck. I'm joined, as always, by the beautiful Ghosty. Hey, Ghosty, how you doing?
Good. How are you?
Oh, I'm just giddy. It's the first night of Hanukkah. You know, 8 nights of presents and spending money and yeah.
Yeah, that sounds about right. I'm kind of jealous. You guys get. When I was a little kid, I was like, "Oh, you guys get 8 days of presents." I was like, "Can we do Hanukkah?" My dad's like, "No, we have 5 kids."
See, that's the thing I love about Hanukkah, with it being the first night, is that the first night it's the least amount of spending, because guess what? You know, it's one present, you know, and then the second night it's 2, and then the third it's 3, and then the fourth it's 4, and you see where I'm going with this. And then eventually you get 27 presents, you're sitting there going, oh my god. You start giving out individual socks. Like, here you go, it's for your left foot. What?
You'll get the other one tomorrow.
You'll get the other one tomorrow, but it's fucking cold. Oh, man. Okay. So, Jeezy Creasy, today is a big day. Not only is it the first night of Hanukkah, but for you and me, Ghosty, it's the first day that we get to wreck scrubs on Xbox, coming to play our beloved PUBG.
I know. Console players always think that they're better, and then they come to PC and they get absolutely demolished. So.
Yeah, we're gonna spank some PPs later.
I played against a kid. It wasn't even PUBG. It was FIFA, and I could hear his like prepubescent screeching in my headset, and I actually had to turn off my headset.
It's probably one of my favorite things about video gaming is like the constant autistic screeching of the 12-year-olds who think it's the funniest thing ever, just scream into the mics as loud as you can. And then you hear their mother or father in the background, shut the fuck up!
Yeah, it wasn't even like doing it just to do it. He was just like monologuing and like talking the whole time, and But then every time I scored a goal, he just like raged, and I was like, I just don't want to listen to that. So I just turned off my headset and put it down on my desk.
So, over in gaming news, which is where I didn't send you an article about this, but it's a very interesting thing. Representatives from Hawaii are pushing for games with loot boxes that if you're going to purchase one, you got to provide ID. It's not to be sold to anyone under the age of 21, because loot boxes are, who'da thunk it, gambling.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
And
so are FIFA packs.
Yeah, that's a loot box.
You're opening the packs hoping to get the players that you want.
It's a
loot
loot box.
crates. You're opening the crates to hopefully get skins or weapons that you want.
And we can all thank EA's Battlefront 2. Congratulations, EA. You're brilliant. Good job. Way to make a game be pay to win. But lo and behold, I'm all for this. Because I like the idea of paying for a game, paying $60 for a game, and getting the whole complete fucking game. You know? I don't want to have to spend 3,804 hours to get enough credits. Is this Battlefront 2? 3,804 hours to earn enough credits to purchase every single item card or equipment card through a loot box. Yeah. No, that's in Hawaii, D-Max. Hawaii, they're pushing this legislation through, and I hope it goes through because loot boxes are absolutely fucking bullshit. But it did raise the question. Trading card games. How the hell are they going to... Now, they push this through. What about games like Hearthstone or Magic the Gathering Online or anything else that is a trading card game online where part of it is, you know, you got to get more cards. You know, there's going to have to be obvious exceptions, you know, or else an entire part of the gaming industry will die away.
Yeah, but like FIFA and Madden, because they have that online player component where you play against other people, they've always had, it's always been pay to win. I mean, I played against somebody called Credit Card FC.
Yeah, but
So-
that's the problem I have is that when you have a game that's paid that like with FIFA with their card with the, you know, you can unlock Ronaldo and you can unlock Rooney, and it's the highest version possible. It's kind of bullshit. But if you look at like Magic the Gathering, and fuck your black-white deck, it's all about blue-black. Black and blues, bro. When you look at games like Magic the Gathering or Hearthstone, where it's critical that you, when you can, you don't need to, but when you want to get those extra cards, you can. Because the game's constantly evolving and changing, and it's how these things make money. Same thing with like Warframe. Warframe is entirely free to play. You can do everything in the game. But I don't have the 100 hours, so if I want to, I can buy the armor I want or buy the weapon I want and spend actual money. But they take a lot more time to balance things out. I don't know. Fucking, it's above my pay grade. I'm just glad this is getting introduced, but there's a lot more. They need people. We need people to be more involved. We need leaders in the gaming community to be more involved with this and provide insight. Actual leaders and nerds like all holy Joss Whedon, and Nathan Fillion. God praise Nathan Fillion.
I know, he's so awesome.
Captain Mal all day.
Yeah, I mean, you know, I don't know about Madden because I never played it against other people online. I always just played it like for fun or played it against my brother or whatever until he threw the controller against the wall and almost broke the TV. Then he got banned from playing it. But like FIFA, for instance, it's pretty broken, and some of the mechanics are like absolute garbage, and they need to be fixed. And also, like, the pack weight is absolute trash. Like, I watched a YouTuber who makes God knows how much money, a lot. He did like 84,000 FIFA points, and it's like 12,000 FIFA points for every $100. And he packed like absolutely nothing good at all.
Yeah, and that's the thing. It's gambling. You know, every time you get something you like, it's a little bit of you get a little hit of dopamine because it's a false positive. And you're like, oh yeah, but fuck it. Like I said, they need input from the professionals.
Oh yeah, there's a whole fix FIFA hashtag thing going on when people are in an uproar, and like during those lightning round packs, people weren't even opening them because they know it's trash.
Yep.
You got to hit them in their wallets for them to actually change anything.
Which is why EA stock has plummeted to an abysmal number. But let's get on with the first. Let's go to the dictionary, shall we? God help us. Merriam-Webster names feminism as its word of the year. Okay, let's actually see what the actual definition is: the theory of the political, economic, and social equality of the sexes and organized activity in support of women's rights and interests, according to Merriam-Webster. Okay, I can get behind those definitions. Searches on Merriam-Webster.com for feminism spiked in January 2017 during the women's marches held around the world, and again when Kellyanne Conway said she didn't consider herself a feminist in the classic sense, in quotation marks. And lookups for feminism didn't stop there. Many looked up the term amid the Me Too campaign, and the increased allegations of sexual harassment and misconduct have taken over the news cycle. However, feminism ain't what it used to be. You know, if you look at first wave versus second, versus third wave, which is current, where first wave feminism was women's suffrage movement in the early 1900s. Second wave is the 60s, 70s, 80s, where the woman starts moving out of the home and into the workplace. And now it's castrate the boys. Boyish behavior isn't allowed. You can't be a man. We don't need men. It's. You wonder why there's a Meninist movement. I mean, am I wrong here, Ghost?
No.
I mean,
but I actually got curious and decided to check the Urban Dictionary version of feminism.
Oh God, here we go.
This is quite funny. The top definition says feminism used to be about women getting the same rights as men, such as the right to vote and equal pay at work. Now feminism is a movement full of women who seem to think that their ability to push a baby out of their vagina entitles them to bigger and better everything. And then the next one says feminism, oh my God, is the idea we can solve all inequalities between the genders by focusing solely on the issues of one of them. It just
I like the example of usage of that.
Oh my God.
Oh, feminism. Women being raped in prison? We have to stop this horror. Men
Wait.
being raped in prison? Ha, they'll learn their lesson now. What?
This one, I feel like this is something that you would say. Here's the third one for feminism. A bastardized corruption of the word favoritism.
Oh my God. Oh, fuck.
That's amazing.
And it's use in a sentence. Feminism. I got the house, the Mercedes, half his net worth, and the kids because I'm a member of an oppressed group. No, you're a fucking mentally ill fucking cunt.
A bastardized corruption of the word favoritism. That is the funniest. You know what? They have coffee mugs with words. I'm gonna put that on there and buy that. That's funny.
God damn it. You know, my favorite thing is every now and then, there's a certain okay guys, okay, we all know KJ is very independent. And there's a feminist that I follow, not because I believe in what she says, but because it is the funniest thing to keep having to make Google accounts to post on her YouTube so I can constantly say that her mug, that male tears that says on her mug, is talking about semen. I have so many wasted there are hundreds of thousands of wasted possible Google email accounts that could have been used that I have taken just to post every time she posts a video with this goddamn coffee mug that she's drinking her espresso out of. Male tears means semen.
Man, I knew the Urban Dictionary would not fall short on some good ones. That was perfect.
I agree that, yes, I agree with Merriam-Webster names it as the word of the year because what they do is it's the most searched for word and it's the most sought after word, and I understand that. But update your definition because it's a theory. Yes, it is.
The meaning's been diluted over the years for sure.
But now it no longer means that the political, economic, and social equality. What it currently means is fuck men. And the worst part is a lot of people aren't seeing the radicalism of it. But of course, once again, our country is becoming so radicalized, left versus right, conservative versus Democrat, conservative versus liberal, Democrat versus Republican, black versus white. We are so radicalized now that it's just fucking there's I don't fucking know. It's just fucking abysmal. It's abysmal that now it's man versus woman. Great. I can tell you right now, there's one place in Man versus Woman, Ghosty, where you would whoop my ass every time?
Well,
I was gonna say FIFA, but you know.
I mean, I could probably beat you at a couple other video games as well, but that's because I've played them at a higher level
Rainbow Six.
before yeah. But yeah, I mean, I played them for like 10 hours so a day.
There are, the point I'm trying to make is there's places where we complement. Of course, there's places where the sexes do not. For example, giving birth or.
Well, yeah, because that stuff is biologically impossible.
Yeah. There are things that we complement on. There are things we don't complement on. But we should be building on the strengths of each other's sexes, not men are evil or women are evil. That's why I can't support meninism or feminism, because they're both fucking retarded.
I mean, when I went through basic, I couldn't stand being in a fucking room with 60 females for 3.5 months. I like hid in the corner with 2 of my friends and just kept to myself.
I'm surprised no one's taken the bait on the Kuwait is a real deployment thing. I'm sitting there looking at the Facebook chat like.
It's WTF Nation Radio. I mean, I think they know when you guys are trying to like.
I know. I'm trying to stir shit just for the lulz. Sorry.
I like stirring the pot too, but a lot of people that listen in are a lot smarter than that. So.
Anyway, fuck Merriam-Webster, good choice on a fucking word of the year. I do approve of it. I love the photo. This is actually probably the best photo I've ever seen.
No, the photo is a lot nicer than the one where they're wearing vagina suits.
Yeah, but I like the "I'm your boss now, Trump" shape up or you're fired. Excellent way to sum it up. You're excellent, perfect, wonderful, perfect, because he's the president. He works for the people. So yes, excellent. I like that photo. I like how it was the first one there. I'll even, fuck it. I'll even post a link so that y'all can actually see this photo that I'm talking about. There we go. Here we go. And that's it should be the first picture at the very bottom of like the women's marches, signs, and posters. I do like this first photo because it's true. Trump is our employee as president. I think that level of humility needs to be reminded to our president dearest. But then again, I'm an independent. All right, moving on. Okay. Tomorrow, no, not tomorrow. Thursday. Thursday's the damn dreading. The FCC you're in England. You're safe, Ghosty. You're safe.
Yeah.
But, the FCC plans to repeal net neutrality this week, and it could ruin the internet. So what does that mean? Quick notes. The repeal of the rules likely won't mean that your broadband providers, Comcast, fuck them, Time Warner Cable, etc., will block your access to Google or slow Netflix, but the move likely will mean the providers will charge internet company tolls to be able to send their content or services to you.
Don't they do that already, though?
No.
But they don't actually charge the internet providers to, like, advertise their crap?
Okay, so here's pre-net neutrality and post-net neutrality. Pre-net neutrality, the benefits were is that you could pick your internet package, and you were going to get period, end quote, what you paid for. So back when I lived with my parents, which was pre-net neutrality, we paid for the highest internet possible, and we got the highest speed internet possible. And the cons was that the companies kept trying to throttle connections to certain websites. So the earliest case of this is 1999. I believe it was Yahoo throttling. If you used Yahoo's search engine in 1999, you got throttled and you couldn't look up Hotmail. They would constantly redirect you. Those things have been shot down over the course of the years throughout the 2000s. Post-net neutrality, what happened was that we lost that the internet providers lost the ability to sell us these different packages for better internet, better broadband, etc. And that they could not in any way, shape, or form throttle our data. Now, for example, in 2012, Comcast got caught doing it because they're idiots. And lo and behold, Comcast is still tied up in litigation of the Why'd you do it? You knew it was against the rules. Why'd you do it?
Money.
Yeah, well, and that's where the money thing comes in. When they throttle these connections, we'll say with Comcast, who I believe I think they own NBC, but Comcast, I think it's NBC. If I was to go to NBC.com, immediate, bam, I can go to NBC.com. Yay, no problem. But if I wanted to go to, say, FoxNews.com, that would get slowed down, and all that ad revenue that would have been received by Fox News for all the ads they post on there, all that they lost out. And the internet's supposed to be a free market, entirely free market, where everything is open and available to you. A lot now. How does this affect the show? And this is the really important thing. This means that internet service providers can treat data from different websites and throttle it to you. So you could listen to us on Mixer, and you could be listening to us on Time Warner, and you could be listening to us on Mixer. But if you're listening to us on Comcast, because fuck Comcast, Comcast may, and this is all hypothetical, Comcast may throttle Mixer to where you can't even get a stable enough connection to hear my voice. The other thing is that it prevents internet service providers from blocking, slowing, or providing preferential treatment to particular sites and services, like I just explained. And the biggest pain in the ass is that the chairman of the FCC, Ajit Pai, was previously the head lawyer for Verizon.
Okay.
Who owns AOL and Yahoo. I mean, I see a problem here. So if I'm and the issue here is that if they repeal net neutrality, it very well might go to where they can show that preferential treatment to Verizon customers. Hey, boom, you can get to AOL, you can get to Yahoo, no problem. There you go, have fun. But if you want to go to Gmail, what you can do, there are plenty of people that you can get in contact with. We the Internet is probably one of the quickest and fastest ways. They have more links. Pressure Facebook, pressure Google. You just post right on their Facebook page, right on their Google Plus page. I don't know one uses it, but Google does for some reason. And explain to them, things that have worked in years past has been internet shutdowns, where these sites that everybody has to use, these companies will, bam, throttle. One of the biggest proponents against net neutrality is Pornhub. Hilariously enough, if you go to Pornhub right now, they have much more information and much more ways to help fight against the loss of net neutrality. I'm all for free market. I'm all for companies making money, but I'm not for it when those companies decide to throttle something that is such an incredible tool to the entire world and is necessary for day-to-day functions. It isn't the 90s where we could have gotten away with knocking on brick and mortar, walking the streets, trying to get a job. You have to now do all your applications online. You have to now use job boards, and you have to communicate through email and etc. It won't affect. I don't see it affecting the DoD, but because government contracts and the government will rip anyone a new asshole if they get throttled. But imagine for the guy here who works in their own small business that gets told, "Oh, I'm sorry, you can't access your distributor's website because they sided with Verizon and we're AT&T." So Verizon, they're using a Verizon-based site, and you're with AT&T, and you're on Time Warner Cable, who is currently getting purchased by AT&T, and that's a whole nother kit and caboodle. We talked about it a few weeks ago. See how you can get involved. Notify your congressmen. Notify your senators. Tell them, do not repeal net neutrality, because without it, it could happen. It could happen to where you lose access to us.
Yeah.
And as much as I love my audience and I love you guys, and I'm always fucking here for you, I would hate to show up one day and find out as I'm broadcasting that none of y'all can hear us. And we haven't even gotten to the ramifications of what can happen on the phone, on your cell phone. Like I said, biggest issues here are Verizon, AT&T. You got an iPhone through Verizon, you ain't gonna be able to check out AT&T shit. You get an iPhone through AT&T, you got to check out any of the websites Verizon owns because they will show that preferential treatment. You'll have to pay to get there.
Mm-hmm.
And with gaming, let's talk to the matter real close to heart. I don't like high latency. And with net neutrality, they can control, with net neutrality getting repealed, they can control and throttle not only how much upload-download speed you have, but your latency, your communication between yourself and the server. So, for once, you can actually, if net neutrality gets repealed, you can definitely blame your latency. You can definitely blame the lag. Please get in contact. There's 2 days. Get in contact. Pressure Facebook. Pressure Google. Pressure the companies that really are the heart and soul of the internet to show how much free internet and net neutrality is needed. There's always a compromise, but completely repealing it is not the best solution. All right, I'm off my high horse. Last personal agenda I'm going to push you for today.
I sent a petition for that, though. There's a petition going around.
Yeah, I'm trying to find who sent it. I mean,
I actually might have the link for it. Give me a second.
if you have the link, I'm trying to remember. I have it in my email as well because I'm a huge proponent here in Nashville. I'm constantly talking to people. Where the hell is it? That's no updates. There we go. Nope. Fuck. I had it. I have it somewhere.
I'll find it for you.
Yeah. Now I'm like tweaking out. I'm like, I want to get this out there. I want to get this out there. Where are they? Oh, that's my Jewish forums. I don't need that. Anyway, hello. Just got an email. Oh, also another interesting thing. The Culinary Act Forever GI Bill. On Tuesday, December 12th at 2 p.m. Eastern Time, Mr. Robert Worley II, Director of Education Services, will testify before the House Veterans Affairs Committee to discuss what has been done so far regarding the Forever GI Bill. So if you want to hear about any new information regarding the Forever GI Bill, the Culinary Act, it'll be talked about today at the House Veterans Affairs Committee. Holy shit! Thank you, email, for that excellent notification. Okay. While you're looking for that, I'm gonna continue on with the articles. So yesterday we had a situation in New York. There was a terrorist attack. Thank you, Mayor de Blasio, for not being a pussy and actually calling it a terrorist attack. And reported by USA Today, New York subway blast suspect, quote, "Trump, you failed to protect your nation," end quote. Bangladesh native, oh god, here comes the name, Akayed Ullah, fucking whatever, terrorist scum, taunted President Trump in a Facebook post minutes before igniting chaos near Times Square by detonating a pipe bomb loaded with metal screws in a crowded transit hub at rush hour, authorities allege in a federal complaint filed Tuesday. On the way to carrying out the December 11th attack, terrorist scum posted a statement on his Facebook account stating, "Trump, you failed to protect your nation," according to the complaint filed by Special Agent Joseph Cercelio with the Homeland Security Investigations Joint Terrorism Task Force. The 5-count complaint charges the Brooklyn resident with bombing a public place, use of a weapon of mass destruction. Okay, hold on. Is a pipe bomb a weapon of mass destruction?
If it actually detonated when it was supposed to and he did it right, it could have been, especially on a sub train. But I heard it went off prematurely.
Yeah. I mean, that's an interesting question right in there. Unfortunately, in the article, what constitutes a weapon of mass destruction. We have
Something that causes mass destruction
well, think about it like this:
via people or buildings.
The greatest value is a nuclear weapon. That is a WMD. But is a pipe bomb, is a hand grenade a weapon of mass destruction? I mean, what quantifies a weapon of mass destruction? That's a, you know, and with that line of thinking, a AR-15 with a 100-round drum mag, is that a weapon of mass destruction?
If it causes mass destruction, I think it counts. But that's my personal opinion. I mean, I think just limiting it to a nuclear bomb is stupid. I mean, somebody could drive a freaking jingle truck into a camp full of people and blow it up and it kills 50 people. That's a weapon of mass destruction. It created mass destruction.
But mass destruction, at least in my mind, is mass destruction. Buildings fall, like September 11th, mass destruction. You know, though that plane was a weapon of mass destruction. It destroyed multiple buildings. They caused untold loss of life. That I understand. But a pipe bomb?
I mean, little kids dropped fireworks into a canyon and lit grass on fire, and it burned like hundreds of thousands of acres of land and houses. Is that considered a weapon of mass destruction?
I mean, exactly. Where is that? You know, you have your greater amount of a nuclear weapon. Where's your lesser amount? Where's your if it's less than or equal to a because right now it's saying if it's less than or equal to a pipe bomb, it's not a weapon of mass destruction. But if it's greater than or equal to a pipe bomb, then it is a weapon of mass destruction, which then means every missile, every bomb, everything that's greater than a pipe bomb is a weapon of mass destruction. But I digress. The continuing charges, providing support for the Islamic State, destruction of property by fire explosives, and use of a destructive device in furtherance of a crime or violence. In a crime of violence. Criminal terrorist scum admitted to investigators that he built, way to go USA Today, proper fucking grammar, he built the pipe bomb, saying he was inspired by the Islamic State, according to the complaint. Terrorist scum carried out the December 11th attack in part because the United States government policies in among other places the Middle East, the complaint states. Terrorist scum hoped to terrorize as many people as possible and conducted his attack on a workday, hoping to impact more people, the court complaint charges. His radicalization began as far back as 2014, the complaint says. Okay, hold on. Hold the fuck on. Here we go. He viewed pro-ISIS materials online, including a video instructing in substance that as supporters of ISIS were unable to travel overseas to join ISIS, they should carry out attacks in their homelands. So, if we knew that radicalization began as far back as 2014, and it is the end of 2017, 3 years. 3 years. And in 3 years, no one at home was like, hey, terrorist scum, what are you doing on the internet? Oh, I'm looking up how to build a pipe bomb. Oh, okay, well, you have fun with that. Or, on the completely other horrific side of things, hey, sir, we have a gentleman that is actively watching ISIS material online and asking questions about ISIS and, looking up how to build bombs and, oh, don't worry about it. He's just from Bangladesh. Don't worry about it. It's gonna be okay. What? Okay, how do we know? And who knew? And how come no one said anything? I was listening. Well, we'll get to Michael Savage in a minute. He began searching the internet about a year ago for information about building improvised explosive devices, the complaint claims. Federal investigators who searched terrorist scum's Brooklyn home recovered metal pipes, pieces of wire, and fragments of what appeared to be Christmas tree lights, multiple screws consistent with the screws found at the bombing scene. Well, at least he's consistent with the current festivities. Can't have a pipe bomb in December without Christmas tree lights. Oh, I hope there's a picture of this pipe bomb, because I don't think it detonated properly, but I hope there's a picture of this pipe bomb that is just wrapped in fucking Christmas tree lights, Ghosty. Just fucking blinking. There's one light that's out, so a part of the string is out.
When I first saw the photo, I thought he like blew his arms off because it didn't quite like when I first looked at it. They had his arms pinned back in a way that looked like he blew his own arms off, and I was like, that would have been nice. Kind of deserves it.
I mean, Christmas tree lights. I'm fucking dead. I'm fucking dead. Oh god.
It is weird. It is weird to me though how like. And if somebody was watching him and it got to the point where he actually carried that out because they didn't do anything, they should be fired.
Oh no, here we go. Continuing on. He wrote in his passport, "Oh America, die in your rage." The complaint alleged. Moving forward, terrorist scum 27 was not on the radar of law enforcement prior to Monday's blast. John Miller, New York Police Department's Deputy Commissioner for Counterterrorism and Intelligence, told CBS this morning. The show this morning, not at the actual time. He said terrorist scum did not appear to have been struggling financially or facing any other particular pressures. I mean, I get those. I guess those are great indicators, but at the same time, neither was Osama bin Laden. I mean, his family didn't have a good amount of money to it, so... You know, radicals come in all shapes and colors.
Yeah, they don't have to be from the Middle East.
Yeah. He was somewhat characteristic of what we've been seeing across the world, which is someone who turns up one day out of the blue, Miller said. Authorities have described terrorist scum as a lone wolf who's inspired by the Islamic State, a common theme in recent attacks, Miller said. The conspiracy is within the confines of their own mind, Miller said. That's a very hard place to get to. I feel like I'm listening to a toddler give a brief. This Miller guy is just... The conspiracy is within the confines of their own mind. That's a very hard place to get to. Have you tried traveling to the mind? You don't have the proper crystals for this trip.
I feel like he's trying to, like, downplay and make it like it sound like it's a one-off because he's probably going to be the one that people are going to point their fingers at.
Yeah. But here's the thing. I'm a huge fan of Michael Savage. So, you know, Michael Savage is one of my favorite radio hosts because he's a New York Jew that calls it like it is. And it's very typical of New Yorkers. You know, we call it like it is and we call shit out. And he's like, you know, we have chain immigration. Why don't we have chain deportation? And one of the solutions that he recommended was chain deportation. If, you know, you came here on chain immigration and, you know, one of the people in that chain commits a crime like what just happened or a terrorist act, well, bye-bye. But that also comes in the sins of the father. You know, why would you punish, you know, the children for what daddy did? You know, same thing with same argument with DACA. You know, why punish the children for daddy and mommy taking you over the border when you were 5? You didn't have a say. You didn't have the physical capacity to say no. Same thing here. I think his family. I think since 2014 he's been radicalizing, and if his family's been here since 2014, I would start asking them questions. Did you know that he was going to these websites? Did you know he was planning to do something? Did you? Huh? Oh, you did? Bye-bye.
Yeah.
Oh, you didn't? And you proved you didn't? Okay, cool. Stay in the country. That middle ground, you know? That compromise. Ghosty, I'm going to get a tattoo tomorrow. I'm just going to get a tattoo right across my neck. And, like, on my forehead, on the back of my neck, and on my fingers. And it's just like, find a fucking compromise. That's what it's going to say. That way, always, like, no matter what, whatever face I'm looking at, I can just smack it in someone's face. Like, find a fucking compromise. But in this case, this guy ain't getting his 72 virgins. Sucks to suck.
Why would you want 72 people who've never, never mind. But you know what I mean.
No, I completely understand. I want 72 sluts. I want the nastiest, dirty whores that are clean when I die.
Beggars can't be choosers. You can't try to get like whores that are clean. I mean, that sounds like an oxymoron in and of itself.
Hold on. Listen, there have been major advancements in prostitution. Have you seen the escort service? They charge triple what they would charge if you want to go bareback. You use a condom, it's $150. You don't want to use a condom, you're looking at $450. You know, half hour for $450. I can't justify half a grand. Then they charge interest, if you want to go bareback for every minute. It's like, you don't want to deal with that headache. Right, D-Max? I'm kidding, don't kill me. I still have to play video games with D-Max. I'm sorry, buddy. I've just been busy as shit. The world's been coming down on my shoulders. I could feel the pressure. Unlike the people in that subway when the pipe bomb didn't explode properly.
Well, they're lucky, to be honest.
Was that too soon of a joke?
Probably.
Yeah, that was in bad taste.
But could you imagine, though, being somebody who's never served in the military or anything? You're just like I call them marshmallows. And, something like that happens. Psychologically, you're still going to worry every time you go on the flipping subway if you do end up going back on the subway.
Yeah.
So I do feel bad for those people.
Oh, no. Have you ever ridden in the New York subways?
No.
They're absolutely atrocious. And, but if there's one thing that if there's one thing that I know about riding the subways, going from Long Island Railroad to the Manhattan Transit System, the Metro Transit Authority, is that they're fucking efficient. And if you want to cripple the island of Manhattan, you want to cripple New York City, Nathan, calm down there, man. Breathe, buddy. If you want to cripple New York City, you cripple their transportation first. Honestly, it was smart for him to go after the subways, because if you shut that down, everyone's stuck. 9/11 happened and people had to walk across the bridges to get home on Long Island. That was not fun. So, you want to cripple New York City, you hit transportation first, or you hit a building and then everything shuts down automatically. It's efficient. It has its delays. They don't apologize for their delays. They do, but they don't. But it's one of the most efficient transportation systems in the country with comparatively the size of the population. So kudos for him to picking a good target. I wish you were on our side and you could have done that to some goddamn fucking actual Syrian, ISIS or Russia or North Korea, but instead you chose to be a shitbag and use your evil ways, use your creative ways in an evil manner instead of a way that would have been beneficial for the U.S., like doing it in North Korea or Russia or anyone else who we don't like. You're an asshole. Asshole of the Week award. Okay. Hey, you want to get on to my favorite asshole in government, Ghosty?
Sure.
She looks like the Wicked Witch of the West. And her name...
Hillary Clinton?
No, that's the Wicked Witch of the East. Betsy fucking DeVos.
All right.
Betsy DeVos, for once, in the entire time she's been in office as Secretary of Education, has done something that actually doesn't make me want to, strangle her. Low expectations for students with disabilities must end. Schools must do more than just the minimum to educate students with disabilities, SecEd says. Secretary of Education Betsy DeVos says too many students with disabilities are caught in a cycle of low academic expectations and that the status quo of schools doing the minimum legally required to educate them must end. Too often, the families of disabled children have felt that their children are not being adequately challenged academically or given the support needed to grow and thrive, she wrote in a commentary for Education Week. To these parents, it often seems as if the school district is content with simply passing their child along rather than focusing on helping him or her progress and grow academically, DeVos wrote. They recognize that de minimis... Okay, all right. Serious face. De minimis standard isn't working for the child. Oh God. But sadly, they often do not have the opportunity to access something better. In the commentary, the Secretary focused on the impact of a recent and unanimous U.S. Supreme Court decision, Andrew F. versus Douglas County School District, which held that a child with autism is entitled to an individual education program that requires more than the de minimis. Oh, okay, but pronouncing it wrong. It's Latin, or minimum progress set by the school. When it comes to educating students with disabilities, failure is not acceptable, she wrote. De minimis isn't either. I have to agree with that. You know, I have to agree with the idea that you educate a child with autism or a child with a learning disability, or any disability, that they should be held to the same, to a better standard. You know, there's many cases where children with autism, you know, they're good at, you know, they're great at something, be it math or sciences or something. You know, you find what interests them, and you use the disability as a tool to further the interest and further the education. I mean, there's a whole show about it, The Good Doctor. You know, this doctor has a severe case of autism, but he's a brilliant surgeon. He's a perfectionist, he's a surgeon, and it's a good show. And that's an excellent representation of how you could use education for a student with disabilities, furthering themselves. I'm curious if there are any autism and higher learning, because it's mainly talking about autism, Ghosty. I don't want high functioning. I want. Might help if I spell it right too, Ghost. Nope, I got nothing here. I don't know. I mean, it's. What do you think? Do you think we should challenge those with mental disabilities, with learning disabilities, to do better and be able to?
I think that sometimes people who have a disability or learning disability, or they have trouble paying attention or with reading because of paying attention or something like that, it's really easy to be lazy, I guess, in a sense, or use it as a reason not to try, or to not get a job, or to not go to school or further your education, or pursue a career that you otherwise would have wanted to do. So I feel like just like in a classroom where not everyone learns the same way, it should be kind of like that, where you're trying to help people learn in a way that placates to their strengths and helps bolster their confidence and doing better. But I feel like they should still be pushed the same way everybody else is, because I feel like you further handicap people if you let them play the victim card for themselves. I'm not saying don't acknowledge that it's there, but I think you should find a way to make it where they can put themselves in a position to be successful, if that makes sense. Because there's some brilliant ass people that have Asperger's and what's that one where when people read words the
Dyslexia,
letters shift? Dyslexia, yeah. There's people that are really smart that have dyslexia that overcome that. I mean, I've seen people with Down syndrome get jobs. I mean, I don't think you should. I don't think it should be marginalized, but I don't think you should let it be a reason for them to just go, well, nobody cares and they're not really trying to help us do this, so I'm just going to accept that I'm just this and I'm not going to ever do anything about it. So
Yeah, I can see that. That makes sense. You know, it's one thing. Like I said, I agree with not doing the minimum, with going above and beyond, and even if it takes an extra year or it takes an extra 2 years, but getting someone with a learning disability, be it dyslexia, be it autism, be it Asperger's, be it whatever, getting them to a point where they can function solely in society, if they are able to, is great. I'm all for it. And once again, education. This is one of the few times I've actually seen our Secretary of Education actually say something that I can agree with. You know, that, yeah, you don't lower a standard for someone just because, you don't, this singles them out. It makes them feel different. You don't want someone, especially someone who knows or doesn't know that they're different. No, you incorporate. And if if parents want to, raise a child with a learning disability, then that child should be afforded some or all of the same opportunities that a child without a learning disability has, when it comes to their primary education. I can't say about higher education because you don't know. College is a whole separate animal. But it's good to see that this is coming out and being treated in a manner that, no, the minimum isn't working. The minimum isn't helping them. It's hurting, and I like that. Okay.
I concur.
Yeah. All right. I think we're gonna take a break. Yeah. Lexdexia. Yeah. Roger that, Pooks. We're gonna take a break. We're gonna stay here live on Facebook. We're gonna take a break for about I don't know. Let me see how long this is. 10-ish minutes. Roughly, yeah, about 10 minutes. And we will be back. So until then, shots!
Broadcasting live from the basement of the Pentagon. This is WTF Nation Radio.
Everything stated on WTF Nation Radio is to be considered the opinion of the person that stated it, and not an official representation of WTF Nation Radio or U.S. Army WTF Moments.
Price does not include tax, title, or license. Some assembly required. Each item sold separately. Batteries not included. Objects in mirror are closer than they appear. If conditions persist, contact a physician. Individual results may vary. Keep out of the reach of children. Avoid prolonged exposure to direct sunlight. Keep in a cool, dark place. And
Please enjoy the show. Shots.
Shots! And we're back. Jose's Taco Truck. Whole kit caboodle. Kuwait's not a real deployment, etc. I'm back with Ghosty. You there? Hey, girl. Fam. Ghosty. Fam.
Yep.
Homie. As I'm sitting there like the whole time, like, oh shit, what's going on with disconnected? Nope, I muted fucking Skype because I'm an idiot.
Yeah, I was just waiting for you to tell me.
Yeah. I'm an idiot.
It's
I
okay.
can't keep control of my own fucking buttons. All right. Let's go to North Korea or Japan or somewhere over there. Charles Jenkins is a U.S. soldier who defected to North Korea, has passed away. Charles Jenkins, 77, lived in Japan, where he settled with his family after his 2004 release from North Korea. He was a U.S. sergeant who defected to North Korea and became Pyongyang's prisoner for nearly 40 years. He died on Sado Island in Japan on Monday, while he was living with his wife Hitomi Soga, also a former prisoner of North Korea. Yeah, let me read the article and then we'll comment real quick. Mr. Jenkins had led an extraordinary but also difficult life in North Korea, which he would later chronicle in a memoir and several interviews. In 1965, while stationed with the U.S. Army in South Korea by the DMZ, Mr. Jenkins decided to abandon his unit and defect to the north, fearing he would be killed in patrols or sent to fight in the Vietnam War. He said he thought that once in North Korea, he could seek asylum with the Russian embassy and eventually return to the U.S. in a prisoner swap. One January night, Mr. Jenkins said he downed several beers, walked across the DMZ, and surrendered to North Korean soldiers there. He was only 24 years old. The Russians did not grant him or the other Americans asylum. Instead, they were held as prisoners by the North Koreans. Granted, Mr. Jenkins says, thinking back now, I was a fool. If there was a God in heaven, he carried me through it. Well, I mean, I don't know. You fucking walked across the DMZ in 1965, 12 years after the Korean War, and thought, I guess I can get out of going to Vietnam and go to Russia for a bit. I mean, I feel bad for his wife and kids, because his wife was also abducted. She was abducted from Japan to teach North Korean spies her language, and they were forced to cohabitate, and eventually they got married. They eventually fell in love, bonded by their mutual hatred of their captors, and had two children. What are their names? I just saw it. They had two girls, Mika and Brenda, and as foreign prisoners, they were treated better than ordinary North Koreans and given rations, even during the famine that swept through North Korea in the 1990s. In 2002, Ms. Soga was freed after negotiations by the Japanese government. Pyongyang then allowed Mr. Jenkins to leave 2 years later, along with their daughters. So we'll skip a little bit ahead to where Mr. Jenkins eventually he surrendered to the U.S. Army almost 4 decades after he defected and was court-martialed. He was given a 30-day prison sentence and a dishonorable discharge. But there is the greatest picture in the world of some dude. This is back when BDUs were a thing. And remember, this guy defected to North Korea in 1965, right? So they didn't, I mean, they're not technologically savvy in North Korea. They don't have the same stuff we do. And there's this pic of some staff sergeant, I want to say Rogerson, way to go, bro, teaching this 60-something-year-old, 70-something-year-old, 60-something-year-old, using an old tube box computer, how to use a computer for the first time ever. And he had a culture shock of coming back in the Army, Surprised to see many women serving in the Army, as well as black people working as policemen, according to CBS. I mean, this dude was stuck in North Korea for 40 years. 40 years. Could you imagine that?
I'm surprised he lived that long, to be honest.
Well,
With the way they treat people.
I think they had him teaching. Yeah, he was doing translation work, and he was he starred as Western villains in North Korea propaganda films. So he acted and he taught and he translated English to North Korean.
Yeah, well, and then she taught Japanese to them, didn't she, as well? So, but they just like absolutely just captured her. He made that choice.
I mean, granted, you got out, you did your time, you did the right, you did the right thing in the end, which was go right to it, deal with the consequences of your actions. I can applaud that.
Yeah.
But I feel bad for his wife and children, because that's what they met and bonded over, and his kids look fucking just. They look like North Korean famine hit them. Is that bad to say? I don't know. I feel like I'm going to hell for these statements.
Well, but they moved back to Japan though, didn't they?
Yeah, they did.
Yeah.
But
I always wanted to go to Japan.
I don't know. I kind of want to. I don't want to go to Japan. I want to go to Korea.
Yeah, I want to go to Japan. Japan has lots of awesome stuff.
See, you're a medic, so what you should do, you're a medic, so you should get assigned to a line unit and go to Korea, and then we'll link up in Korea, and we'll run across the DMZ and just blow them away. Every time I get shot, you're just filling me up with like with coagulants and just bam, just like, okay, you're good to go. All right, let's fucking do this.
Just wrap your arms and legs in like bandages already, just to, like pre-pad it.
PUBG style healing. Random fucking needle just heals me up to 75% health.
Or like PUBG, where you have like those what are those? They're not adrenaline shots. What are those things?
Yeah, adrenaline shots.
Are they?
Yeah.
Oh, right. Is that what they call them in the game?
Yeah, where you can revive. If you're downed, you can revive if you have an adrenaline shot.
Mm-hmm. I just like you just find them randomly in all these houses. You're like, this seems a little bit odd.
Fuck it. We're gonna skip over Sarah Sanders. I don't give a shit about what she says. I don't care about the White House press secretary saying that she made a hugely offensive allegation against the media. Fuck the media. Fuck
Somebody said
everybody.
in chat, he's like, he didn't get you mean botulism?
Redacted. He's lucky he didn't get botulism. Yeah, he's right. He's lucky. Dude, college sucks, Redacted. I feel you, fam. I just got accepted into the college I want to go to, and I'm banging my head against the wall because I can't like smoke on campus. I can't dip. I can't even vape. And I have to be around neo-yuppie liberals.
I love school.
Oh, go in my place then.
Such a nerd. Okay.
Just do it in my name. We'll get you some of my clothes, and we'll get you some
Just
reconstructed.
self-identify as KJ for the next 4 years.
Yes, I self-identify as an angry infantryman. There you go. Hell of a promotion.
There you go. It should fly, given 2017. I mean, shit.
Okay. All right. Can we talk about this whole trans thing real quick before we go to the actual transgender story? But which is gonna be last. But I'm waiting for a DOD story to come out about some fucking pogey ass motherfucker that's like an admin clerk who identifies his MOS as infantry to validate stolen valor. Like, I'm waiting for it, that he identifies as an infantryman, and that is, like, I'm waiting for that stolen valor story. I identify as a infantryman, so you have to respect that. I'm waiting for it. I'm waiting for the responses. I'm waiting to see how the community handles it. I can't fucking wait.
I don't think the community is going to handle it. Like, I'm sure publicly it'll be very different than the way it'll be handled internally.
I think it'll be handled very well, the same way you handle a shovel and 6 feet deep worth of dirt. But
that, or at least with one of your Hanukkah socks in a bar of soap.
Yes. Remember, the second night you get the less socks, and you get the soap on the third night. So on the third night you start beating them, and then you get another bar of soap and another sock on the fourth night. So that way, on the fourth night, you can use 2 socks. Okay. So Ghosty.
Just send them a bunch of Bed Bath & Beyond gift
Oh my
baskets and some socks from Walmart. Like, I don't know what you guys are gonna do with these, but here you go.
You identify as an infantryman? All right, not a problem. Have you ever had a field shower? No. I'm gonna show you
My
where that wet wipe
field
goes.
showers were baby wipes.
I'm gonna show you where that wet wipe goes. Huh? Anyway, okay. Hey, Ghosty, you got any brothers?
I do. I have. I grew up with 2, but I have 4.
Is one? I'm assuming they're older than you.
Only 1.
Only one? Okay, well, according to the PNAS Journal, what the hell is PNAS? Let's figure that. The
Penis?
Yeah, peanut. Oh my god, penis. Oh my god. Oh, having older brothers increases men's likelihood of being gay, according to the results published in the journal PNAS. Woo! Here we go. Let's see how homo we can make this story. The researchers say that if their findings can be replicated, we may know at least one of the biological reasons some men are gay. So for all of you younger brothers out there who have older brothers, you're probably a flaming homosexual. But many factors may determine someone's sexual orientation. Oh my god. But in this case, researchers noticed a pattern that may be linked to something that happens in the womb, y'all. The phenomenon is linked to a protein linked to the Y chromosome, which women do not have, that is important to male brain development. Okay, first of all, this is on CNN. This is an article from CNN that is constantly doing the whole bullshit fucking self-identity fucking I identify as a goddamn fucking HIV positive female non-binary transsexual fallout shelter. And yet right there in the article, this phenomenon is related to a protein linked to the Y chromosome, which women do not have. The screams of 1,000,000 billion transsexuals and SJWs are heard across the galaxy and snuffed out in an instant. I need that fucking Star Wars meme. It's like, you were the chosen one, aiming to CNN. You were supposed to bring balance to the genders. Yeah, well, they just did. Women do not have a Y chromosome. Suck it up. Researchers think it's possible that when a woman gets pregnant with their first boy, the Y-linked protein gets into her bloodstream. The mother's body recognizes the protein as a foreign substance, and her immune system responds, creating antibodies. If enough of these antibodies build up in the woman's body, she gets pregnant with another boy, that they can cross the placental barrier and enter the brain of the second male fetus. Honey, we're not having more than one boy.
I have all girls, so.
There you go. That may alter. Now I wonder if this is in the reverse. I wonder if your older siblings are all sisters, and you yourself are a lady. Oh, I wonder.
I don't know. They like the boy bands a lot, and the boys.
Yeah. But what they say is it may alter the functions in the brain, changing the direction of how the male fetus may later develop their sense of attraction. This is actually fairly cool. Earlier research has shown that more older brothers a boy has, the more chance the boy will be attracted to men. A 2006 study showed that with each brother, the chance that a man will be gay goes up by about a third. Okay, so the magic number is 4. Your fourth child has a 100% chance. After 3 boys, the fourth child has a 99% chance. Well, 99.99999999999% chance. But the researchers didn't determine why that was.
I don't think that means that they will be gay, though. I think
you can't let me have my fun, Ghosty.
No,
I mean, with those numbers, 1 out of every 4 boys should be gay. And now I must test that. Oh, my Steam Link's here! Yay! Thank you, UPS. Fuck you guys for making a lot of noise. Bogert and his co-authors tested a small group of 142 women and 12 men, lucky guys, ages 18 to 80, and found a higher concentration of antibodies to the protein, known as NLGN4Y, in blood samples from women than from men. They found the highest concentration of antibodies to the protein in women with gay younger sons who had older brothers, compared with women who had no sons or who had given birth to only heterosexual boys. The study builds on research Bogert and his co-authors have been exploring for more than 20 years.
So they've been working on that for over 20 years then?
20 years. Since their initial research that noted the trend, other research, although not all studies, have detected the phenomenon even across cultures. And there's a link for that. Let's follow the rabbit hole. PubMed.gov. In Western cultures, male androphiles tend to have greater number of older brothers than male genophiles, i.e. the fraternal birth order effect. In non-Western nation of independent Samoa, androphilic males, known locally as Fa'afafine, have been shown to have greater number of older brothers, older sisters, and younger brothers. Vassie and Vinderlin, 2007. It is unclear, however, when the observed older brother effect in the context of the additional sibling categories represent a general fraternal birth order effect or was simply associated with elevated maternal fecundity. Okay, this is actually pretty fucking cool. Way to go, penis. One found that a man's chance of being gay increased even if he was raised apart from his older brother. Well, I mean, if this protein is affecting the brain directly, I can Nathan, you're killing me. I can see how it's going to be very difficult to I can see how being even raised apart from an older brother, I can see how it affects it because it's affecting directly the neurological system. So it's affecting your brain directly. It's affecting how it releases hormones and how your brain tells the signals to release hormones and release dopamine and release all those things that make you feel good. So, I mean, this is pretty damn cool. You know, it's just now I can't wait for the Congress, for our jackasses in Congress, to try to put a limit on how many boys can be born, because I'm just waiting for the liberal to say that. It's unfair that the homosexual community does not have as many numbers, so women must give birth to at least 3 boys, so there's a 99.99999% chance for a gay boy.
Because unless you do in vitro fertilization and you have them tell you which embryo is male or female, you can totally control which gender you pop out.
Mm-hmm. But, you know, we all know the crazy that comes out of Congress. Fucking killing me, Nathan. Online college is great. Yeah, I'm going back to the college thing with Redacted. I can drink during class and no one judge me. Yeah, you're online. I like my computer for 2 things: talking to you guys and shooting people in the face with a shotgun in PUBG and laughing when they go, "Oh my god, I can't believe he did that."
I like the frying pan. It makes the most beautiful sound in the world.
I know. Okay, alright. Let's get on to the Firestorm. You ready to hear KJ get triggered? Who's ready to hear KJ get triggered? Are you ready to hear me get triggered?
I mean, I'm 3 cups of coffee with Bailey's in, so you go for it.
Okay. I mean, I'm only a cup of coffee with Kahlua and vodka and whiskey.
I saw the Kahlua, but I saw the Bailey's. Like, I got the original, but I saw the coffee flavored one, and I wanted to try it.
I'm just, my mini bar's starting to get low, guys. So we'll accept donations to KJ's mini bar starting now. Kidding. Here we go. Trump administration appeals transgender recruitment order. The Department of Justice filed an appeal late Monday after a judge ruled that the Trump administration must accept transgender military recruits by the new year, according to multiple reports. Those reports come from CNN, the DOJ itself, the DOD, everyone. The government seeks a stay pending appeal of the portion of the injunction concerning accessions lawyers representing the administration said in a brief, as reported by CNN. The filing came after a federal judge on Monday stopped the administration's attempt to ban the enlistment of new transgender troops. A spokeswoman for the Justice Department in a statement argued that the plaintiffs in the case have not established that they will be impacted by current policies on military services. Okay. Ghosty, I'm triggered. I'm going to move the microphone just a little bit away. Okay, here we go. Time to put some bass in this voice. What the fuck? First of all, when it comes to goddamn transgender in the military, I don't give a flying fuck if you get your titties chopped off and you get a dick, or you get your dick chopped off and you throw on a pair of titties. But for fuck's sake, before or after, don't do it in between. The establish that they will be impacted by current policies on military service, you need to talk about the actual in-between and what that's going to do. God damn it, St. Mattis, get your fucking balls out of your fucking asshole and start talking about force readiness. For fuck's sake. You are our goddamn Secretary of Defense. I know nothing has been said about you yet, but I'm bringing you into this fucking argument because god damn it, you need to talk about fucking force readiness. I made the argument with my uber liberal mother, and even she agreed that if you have fucking Joe Snuffy decide he wants to become Jane Snuffy and he's your Sections 240 gunner, then someone has to take on, and this is a perfect world we're talking about, not the reality, but in this perfect world, now you're down to 240 gunner because this guy went out and got himself diagnosed with gender dysphoria, and now he's going to go get his fucking dick chopped off and some tits attached, and oh my fucking god, who's going to pick up that fucking 240? Well, one of the other Joes. Now, in the imperfect world we live in, like, we'll use my old unit for example, my fucking bro was a fucking gunner, AG, and AB. He was fucking all three in one, and he carried all fucking loads for all fucking three because it fucking sucked to be him, and that was the fucking case. We had 12 people in my fucking platoon, 12, not including platoon sergeant, not including our platoon sergeant or platoon leader, 12 fucking people. What the fuck do you think is gonna happen to units like that are under fucking staff, and fucking Joe Snuffy decides, you know what, I want to get fucked in the pussy today. Urgh! Talk about force readiness. Don't talk about, establish that they will not be impacted by current policies on military service. Talk about force fucking readiness. You cannot be an effective fighting machine if you're fucking sitting there with half your fighting fucking machine getting their dicks fucking swapped for goddamn vaginas. Ah!
I agree, and I think that that's that thing where you get your surgeries and whatever, all that shit done before you serve, or you do it after you get out. But majority of people are trying to get into the military and then doing it just so the military pays for it.
Yes, and that's the problem I have. You don't... Okay, I can get joining the military for a selfish reason. You want to pay for college? Fine. You want to get financial stability? Fine. Go right ahead. I don't give a fuck about your personal selfish reason. You want medical coverage. You want your wife to have TRICARE. Fucking great. What I care is a selfish reason. What I care about is a selfish reason that affects everyone. And when you take away someone in a section, in a team, or a squad, or a platoon, or a company, I mean, what the fuck happens if the CO, the company commander, top, decides, you know what, today would be a good day for me to become a woman? Who the fuck takes over? Who the fuck is ready to take over? And can you imagine your battalion commander's response if a captain came out there and said, sir, I'm not a man. I'm not. My name is Jennifer. My name is Jennifer, and I have been Jennifer forever. I'm gonna go get a pair of tits now. I mean, the XO would have to step up, and the first sergeant would definitely have to step up, but Jesus Christ. Can you imagine the chaos that would bring? I mean, just... And meanwhile, I switch over to check out my messenger real quick because it just popped up. It's like, Brant, so-and-so has 5 balls. Well, holy shit, bro. But that's just the chaos that would come from it. But let's continue the article and just listen as I cringe further. Where was I? whole article changed. It added an ad. Plaintiff's lawsuit challenges the military service requirement is premature for many reasons, including that the Defense Department is actively reviewing such service requirements as the President ordered, and because none of the plaintiffs have established that they will be impacted by current policies on military service, said Lauren Esram, according to CNN. The Pentagon had said after the judge's ruling on Monday that it would begin processing transgender recruits while the administration filed an appeal. And that's even the worst part. And this is the part that really grinds my fucking gears, because now we're coming up on civil liberties law and etc. You have some dude or chick or shim or whatever all excited because they're going to join the Army, or they're going to join the Air Force or the Navy or the Marine Corps or the Coast Guard. And kidding, Coast Guard, I love you guys. Please keep accepting my bribes of fish whenever I go out fishing in Florida. That's getting ready to join. It's all excited. Like, I'm going to be a coastie. I'm going to be a Marine. I'm going to be a sailor. And then this appeal's going to go through, and then it's, no, you're not. You got to wait. That's going to fuck even more. Because what if this person is completely through the process? What if this person meets that common sense criteria of before or after, and they've gotten all of their titties removed or all of their testes removed, and they're ready to join as a new woman or new man? But now they can't because this appeal process is going to go through. This is... I don't give a shit. I don't care who you like to have sex with. I don't care who you identify as. I don't care that you want to change your gender. I don't give a fuck. But when it comes to my beloved Army, do it before or after. Because in between, you have to maintain force fucking readiness.
That and that way it eliminates 90% of the people who were solely joining just to have the surgery paid for and the medications.
Yeah, I mean, and okay, of course we're gonna hear someone's gonna pipe up with the argument. But KJ, they spend so much more on erectile dysfunction medications. I don't give a fuck about that. What I give a fuck about is that someone, like Ghosty just said, comes in with the sole purpose of joining and then not being able to do their goddamn job. I'm going to join the Army so that I can get my dick chopped off. And that way I'm out of commission for God knows how fucking long. Be it a day or 6 fucking months. I'm non-deployable. You're a fucking cunt. That's what you are. You selfish asshole.
Yep. Plus, who wants to... And then, and then if they do... That person actually did get deployed. Who the fuck wants to serve next to somebody who only joined just to have their shit paid for and isn't actually trying to take care of the person on their left or their right?
I mean... Yeah, that'll be fun. Yeah, you're in a fucking fob with KJ, and and we'll even go further. You're in a fob with KJ Ice and all the rest of the fucking Hua motherfuckers from WTF. We're fucking getting ready to rail down on some goddamn fucking gooks in North Korea, and all of a fucking sudden, you have this guy who goes, but I only joined because I needed to get my titties chopped off. Yeah, those our eyes will become the fucking lasers for the JTAC to be calling in that fucking GBU on your ass. You selfish motherfuckers. Like I said, it's not selfish if you come in and you're going to get it afterwards. It's not selfish if you get it beforehand and join. And because if you get it beforehand, yeah, you're going to need some fucking medical care. I can understand that. Oh, and the military has good medical care. Well, okay, military has adequate medical care. But if you're able to do your fucking job, it doesn't fucking bother me. But the minute you can't fucking perform, the minute you can't fucking function, it's the minute the my M4 starts fucking wondering why the fuck you're there.
Yep.
KJ would never commit an act of fratricide. I am not that fucking insane. At least that's what my therapists keep telling me. Wow, not even a pity laugh. Okay, I'll just go bury my head in the sand.
No, I agree. I can't, obviously, the military will absolutely do everything they can to get the absolute most out of you. So I can understand being a little bit, wanting to get something out of it as well besides just serving. Like you want to get taken care of as much as you can, leaving the VA out of that because that will be a rabbit hole. But
Yeah. Oh, don't no. We're not going VA. We're not going
no,
VA.
no. That will make me get tilted. But yeah, joining just for the sole purpose of having your shit paid for, that's just disgusting. And I don't think it should be allowed. And I mean, there's people who are capable of serving, want to serve, want to fight, want to take care of people, who go through fucking hell and high water just to get into the military or back into the military. And then you have these people who are just selfish fucks and want to get their transgender crap paid for because they don't have insurance or whatever. And they just get let right in because,
And I just sent you a link to the next thing I'm about to flawlessly transition into. Okay, so we have Joe Snuffy that joined the Army to become Jane Snuffy, becomes Jane Snuffy in the Army, serves his time in the Army, his 3 years, 4 years, 10 years, whatever. And then he has some sort of complication because of his transition. Something happens, they forget to remove a ball or whatever, I don't know. And then he goes to the VA. And he says, "Oh, I'm transgendered. There's something happened while I was in service. Blah 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 blah." And the VA decides, "Well, I'm sorry, you're in pain. Here, take some hydrocodone." And God damn.
So is this like is this an article about like
no,
the VA just basically shoving pills down people's faces?
This is not the VA specifically.
All right.
That's Virginia, not VA. Meanwhile, it's just a jumping point to get you on the same page as I'm at. Meanwhile, we have a huge issue in the country dealing with the, oh God, what is it? Oh, did President Trump talk about this a few weeks ago? Did he declare it a national health crisis? Oh God, the opioid crisis. Get it before, get it after. But for the love of God, understand that if there's a complication, if something happens, and you go to the VA, who have not been the most 100%, they're not trying to, cross their fingers. We promise we're not going to kill you, Finzies.
I wouldn't believe that if they said it.
Wouldn't believe it with a fucking. And it might help if I type in Department of Veteran Affairs, because I know there's something that just came out from them, that Department of VA. There we go. Sorry. Okay, so anyway, yeah, your complications and the headaches that can come with getting it during and removing the forced readiness, and then afterwards, because you decided while you're in and you were non-deployable, you go to the VA and say, "Oh my God, I don't know how the VA will fucking react other than just fucking pop pills in you for the fucking pain you're claiming or whatever issue's going on." Get it before, get your problem sorted out beforehand, join. Or get it after, get your problem sorted out, and deal with it then. But don't do it where it affects my goddamn force readiness. Don't do it where it affects my brothers and sisters who might have to make a fucking low-key call of whether or not they can get your fucking hormone treatment. And they can afford to lose you. Not lose you as in life, but lose you in the unit. Be fucking smart. No one's saying you can't do it. We're all just saying be fucking smart about when. It ain't gonna hurt you for another 3 years to fucking wait to get your dick chopped off. Or your titties removed. Ugh. That's the whole headache with this. Either, I can understand it. I can understand. Especially with this new fucking, study done about homosexuality and having older brothers increases your chance of being gay. I can understand that if you think, okay, after a while, that's going on. Okay, I don't feel like I'm a man. I feel like I'm a woman. I can understand that. You want to change your gender, whatever. Floats the boat. But I just can't understand why you would detract and take away from the most powerful fighting force in the world. That, yeah, don't worry, I can't pick up that 240. I have to go to my gender reassignment surgery, and I'll be out for about 3 weeks, 4 weeks, 5 weeks, a year, whatever. I can't. I can't justify it, and I hope that middle ground can be reached of get it before or get it after, but not in. But I also know that the fucking SJWs will go running and crying to their almighty highest Hillary Clinton, and we'll never stop hearing the end from that fucking dog-faced bitch.
That, or they should at least have to do like a 4-year contract, and then after, if they've served honorably, then they can get their surgery.
Bam, all paid for. That would be even better. All paid. Hey, you want to fucking become Jane Snuffy? Not a problem. I got you, fam. Serve 4 years. We'll pay for everything. Even
I think that
doctor
would
of
be
your
even
choice.
better, to be honest. Because people can get their green cards from serving and serving honorably. So do the same for that.
Yeah.
Serve honorably, do your shit, keep your nose clean, and here you go, rewarded.
Ignore what I just sent you. That was just to get you on track with the opioid side of the things, of the argument that I was going for.
Nope,
But
I got it.
This, I have not looked at this yet, but I talked about it last week a little bit. And I wanted to get your opinion about what the VA's doing. Roughly, catch up to speed, the Department of Veteran Affairs, as we're moving past transgenderism, because if we continue on it, my head's going to explode. There's going to be gray matter all over my fucking keyboard, and my poor wife will be looking at me going, what the fuck? And then I'll have to wake up the next morning for fucking... I have to go work out anyway, so I'd have to get up anyway and get off my ass. And then I'm just a headless body working out at Planet Fitness. Basically what's going on with the VA is they changed and almost pretty much killed a homelessness funding, and gave that funding to the individual VAs around the country, and that those funds have to be used to buy those individual VAs on homelessness. What it did, however, was killed a bunch of programs that the VA had in place already, which helped stem the tide of homelessness. And I wanted to get your opinion on it. I'm gonna read this article. Actually, I'm gonna see if I can get the actual VA statement that they had. That's from the Hill. Hello. Hold on. All that might be null and fucking moot. Okay, so last week I talked about all that, and because I'm an idiot, guess what President Trump did last Thursday when I was talking about all that?
What did he do?
He canceled it. Trump administration halts plan to shift money from homeless veteran program, reported by CNN, who's already pissed off the SJWs by acknowledging that women don't have a Y chromosome. The Trump administration has abruptly canceled plans to shift dedicated funding away from a program helping the most vulnerable homeless veterans. The Department of Veteran Affairs announced late Wednesday that it would not remove the approximate $460 million in funding from the Veteran Affairs Supportive Housing Program. Known as HUD-VASH, it is a partnership between the VA and the Department of Housing and Urban Development that provides housing and counseling for chronically homeless veterans with disabilities, including mental disease and addiction. There will be absolutely no change in the funding to support our homeless programs. Veteran Affairs Secretary David Shulkin said. Woohoo! My broadcast did it! As my ego screams. The statement capped...
Go ahead.
Oh, no. What were you going to say? Please, go ahead.
Oh, I was just going to say, it would be disgusting and a disgrace to not take care of homeless veterans when they've served their country. I mean, you have all those people wanting to help people trying to get out of their shithole countries, but you can't take care of like veterans who served that are homeless. So it's always kind of been a sore spot for me. So
yeah,
if he stopped them from basically stealing that money from that program, then good.
Yeah. The statement capped nearly a week of complaints from veteran advocates who learned about the change on a 3-hour conference call last Friday and immediately voiced their concerns. Not a single person spoke in support of the VA's actions in any way, shape, or form, said Elisha Harg Blaine of the National League of Cities, who serves on an advisory board at the agency. Honestly, the minute you take away anything from the veteran community, I mean, let's get a number here. I don't want to spout something. Number of U.S. veterans. How many U.S. veterans? There are 21.8 million veterans of the U.S. Armed Forces as of 2014. So out of, where is my calculator? I gotta do the math here. But bad calculator. 21.8 divided by 319.2. 6% of the population as of 2014 are veterans. 6%. Now, I'm not saying that's an exorbitant number, but I'm saying that's a pretty big chunk of the population. 6% are veterans. Of which, that 6%, these 21.8 million people, that is more people that voted in the 2016 election, by the way. But 21.8 million people are veterans. And the minute you fuck one of us, we are coming at you with such a fervor and hate. Listen, there's no condom for your heart here. We will just rip it out. And this right here, when you start hitting the ones that are most vulnerable, the homeless, the mentally ill, the ones that are sitting there from PTSD or addiction, oh yeah. I mean, Ghosty, we can get pretty fucking nasty. I mean, you're in England, you just talk it over tea and crumpets, but in the U.S. we am fighting words. I just keep poking. You know, you're supposed to be part of the British military. Stand up for your peeps and stuff. They keep poking fun at Britain. Y'all war fighting.
Well, I mean, some of them do that, but it depends on where you go and who you talk to, because a lot of them, they will fight you.
No, I don't believe it. They just fight with teacups and prance around the maypole.
No.
Yep.
And that guy who challenged all of those terrorists with his bare hands would beg to differ.
Okay. All right. But these are programs, back to the homelessness, these are programs that work and are effective. And the VA's like, no, we're going to cut them. Y'all, is it just me, or is it just always with government that, like, whenever there's something smart, it's just like, no, we don't, this isn't working anymore. We can't do this anymore. No. We got to change it up. It's too simple. It's too good. It's working too well. Oh, God damn it. Less government interference. Just fucking tell me which country I'm at war with and how much I owe you in taxes. And I swear to God, if I see a goddamn taxation is theft from Pookie in the Mixer chat, I'm going to throw myself out of my fucking window. Cheesy crazy. Okay. It's time for house cleaning. And for me to get more vodka and gin. I'm getting more gin. All right.
Did you see that restaurant or that bar that's like all it is gin? It's like all these different kinds and different drinks.
My liver is crying, but my heart is screaming yes. Where?
I think I saw it on Facebook a couple of days ago, but I could totally find it for you. I'm pretty sure it is in the U.S.
Oh my God. I can live out my fantasies of just being an old curmudgeon, which I do on a daily basis. All right. So we got a bunch of people coming in this week and next week and throughout the holiday season. So here's who we got. This Saturday, December 16th, we have Bill Harris. He's a volunteer firefighter who chased down the terrorist in New York on October 31st of 17. Suspect, Sayfulio Saipov, rented a truck from Home Depot that was used to mow down people in Lower Manhattan, killing 8. Bill will be on to talk about his experience and how it changed his life. Next Monday, December 18th, we have Dan Thurs from tacticalreviews.com. He'll be on to talk about tacticalreviews.com and what they do for those who love all things tactical. Oh, I have my tactical boner going off now. I'm hoping I can. Oh man, I could talk about concealed. I hope Ice and him talk about different benefits of concealed carry and beard oils for bad motherfuckers. And oh man, tactical. December 21st, next Thursday, we have Christopher Beatty from Semper Canine. He served 6 overseas deployments to include 4 combat deployments in the Middle East. While deployed, he used dogs to search for enemy bombs and other explosives. When he returned home, he faced bouts of post-traumatic stress disorder, but Beatty has no regrets. The decisions he made to serve led to what he believes in his true calling, Semper Canine Assistance Dogs. Their mission is to enhance the quality of life for wounded, critically ill, and injured members of the U.S. Armed Forces and their families by providing them assistance dogs. Using rescued and donated dogs, they provide service dogs for psychiatric alert and mobility challenges free of charge to wounded service members. On December 22nd, Tex from Rugged Saints Outdoors. He'll be on to talk about Rugged Saints Outdoors and how it promotes healing and wellness for disabled veterans while providing them with fantastic opportunities for special hunting and fishing trips. And December 26th, which is a Tuesday, day after Christmas, Brittany Kennard. Brittany was a combat veteran who was injured in Iraq. And we'll be on to talk about the SD Gunner Fund and what they do for veterans and disabled children. The SD Gunner Fund was created to assist veterans and disabled children with the financial expense of owning much-needed service animals. Service animals require a variety of necessary items in order to perform their service. These items can include, but are not limited to, vests, custom harnesses, other assistance items, veterinary visits, and more. And, as always, we need to talk about our active non-profit partners. Project Overwatch. They got dogs, they got cameras, they put the camera on the dog. And then with the camera on the dog, increase situational awareness, act the way. I can speak English, Ghosty. Actively working independently of each other or codependently of each other, making sure that the situations they get into are safe for both canine and handler. Remember, all donations to their campaign for Paw Patrol do go to Paw Patrol. They're completely non-for-profit, and as always, Rangers lead the way. And we cannot forget about the greatest retreat on the planet, War Horses for Veterans. It is a 3-day horse and networking experience where you get the opportunity to hang out, ride some horses, tell your no shit there I was stories, eat some Midwestern food, the whole kit and caboodle. Ice and Redleg and a whole bunch of other people from WTF went there, had a blast, and be sure to ask Minx about Summer and 19.1 inches. And please do not forget, we have a show on every night of the week. Every Tuesday and Thursday at noon, you're going to get me and Ghosty for Jose's Taco Truck, where, let's face it, I just get triggered easily. And
I just laugh.
yeah, Ghosty evens me out. And then Tuesdays, we also have Tied Up Tuesdays with Minx and Grey Cloud at 8. Wednesdays are Donza. Thursdays, we have Jose's Taco Truck and Sergeant's Time talking about active duty component news and issues with Ice and Mike Gulf and Doc Madness. Fridays, we have the fantastic Friday Night Freedom with Minx and Mud Puppy. Saturdays, the most savage night of radio, Saturday Night Savagery with Jay Reddy and Pookie. And Sundays, continuing the triumphant return of the Green Room with the wonderful hosts Jason and Charlie. Please remember DD214 to participate in all 420 activities. And Mondays, our flagship show, the Monday edition with Ice and Flash. So please tune in every night at 8 p.m. to hear what we're talking about, and Tuesdays at noon Eastern, and we will meet you here. Ghosty, you got anything for him? Fuck you, Chris. Taxation is not theft.
Nope. But I found the restaurant. It's in Porto, Portugal, and it has 160 different types of gin and tonics.
Porto, Portugal. Well, fuck is this place?
It's called the Gin House.
The Gin House. The Gin House. Let's see this shit. I can hear the angels singing.
Plus, Portugal would be kind of fun as well. So.
Oh man, we're gonna get blitzed. I'll be there in 14 hours. All right,
So if anybody wants to go to Portugal and have gin, there you go.
that's where I'll be. All right, folks, final thought of the day. If you're going to get your dicks shot, listen, you're either the one pounding or getting pounded. But if you're going to decide to change which one you are, do it before or after you enlist. With that being said, shots! And I'll see you all tonight at Tied Up Tuesdays.
Here, take this photograph, tell me what it is you see when you look at me. Deep into the photography, I don't really need your sympathy, just tell me your thoughts. Have I got what they got, and is it a plot done for naught? Am I not like you, because I do what I do? Who knew that I could lose a few of you, cause I bleed blue? But it's true, I know, cause I see it every day as I work and I sleep the day away. Like you I have pain, and like you I have fear. Can I pay all of the bills and still make it through the year? Will I make it home alive? Should I pray to the sky every day and every night? Will I hold you by my side? But in the public eye, I don't even have a heart. A robot of the system moving only when I'm told to start. Rip apart my art, I'm strong like a flower blooming. You got it all wrong, I know. Like you breathe, I breathe, and like you see, I see. And like you need, I need, and like you bleed, I bleed. Don't treat me like an object, I'm tested and proven. Mind, heart, and soul, I'll always be a human. Like you breathe, I breathe, and like you see, I see. And like you need, I need, and like you bleed, I bleed. Don't treat me like an object, I'm tested and proven. Mind, heart, and soul, I'll always be a human.
Call me a vet like a soldier, Green Beret, 21 gun salute, don't wanna see the day. In the constant war zone, in the home of the brave, where they hate the police until they saving the day. I got kids like you, a mortgage like you, so blue lives matter, and so does yours too. All this separation and divide, open your eyes. If you cut us all open, we the same inside. The only difference is I run to the gunfight. Your peace when it's chaos, when the people don't act right. But I'm under scrutiny for trying to protect me. You pull a pistol and I'm shooting for trying to contest me. I got a quick second to make a deadly decision. The media portray me like a kid for a living, like I'm cold with no heart, a brain with no thoughts, a body with no feeling, a life with no cause.
Like you breathe, I breathe, and like you see, I see. And like you need, I need, and like you bleed, I bleed. Don't treat me like an object, I'm tested and proven. Mind, heart, and soul, I'll always be a human. Like you breathe, I breathe, and like you see, I see. And like you need, I need, and like you bleed, I bleed. Don't treat me like an object, I'm tested and proven. Mind, heart, and soul, I'll always be a human. I'm damned if I do, and damned if I don't. It's like every single time I say what's on my mind, they go for my throat, they spew evil words. If you are absurd, always grinding, grinning, and killing my soul with these verbs. Hold me down, like I can't gasp for air. I'm closed inside of a box, like I'm inside Fort Knox. Every time that I'm there, I don't know why they think that I'm different from you. All that's true is I'm a like you breathe, I breathe, and like you see, I see. And like you need, I need, and like you bleed, I bleed. Don't treat me like an object, I'm tested and proven. Mind, heart, and soul, I'll always be a human. Like you breathe, I breathe, and like you see, I see. And like you need, I need, and like you bleed, I bleed. Don't treat me like an object, I'm tested and proven. Mind, heart, and soul, I'll always be a human. Like you breathe, I breathe, and like you see, I see. And like you need, I need, and like you bleed, I bleed. Don't treat me like an object, I'm tested and proven. Mind, heart, and soul, I'll always be a human. Like you breathe, I breathe, and like you see, I see. And like you need, I need, and like you bleed, I bleed. Don't treat me like an object, I'm tested and proven. Mind, heart, and soul, I'll always be a human.
WTF Nation Radio. WTF Nation Radio.